Hey everybody, anyone who is on YouTube watching this right now, we're getting everybody seated and we'll be with you in just a moment, so stand by. All right, we can get started. We are in Tipp City today. I'm really excited to do our training in Tipp City, and I'm going to swing the camera around so you can see who all is here today from Tipp City. Hey, say hi, everybody. Hi. There we go. Very nice. And I hope we get some people online. Let me get my camera back where I wanted to go. All right, so we are here today thanks to Main Street America, Heritage Ohio, Downtown Middletown Inc., and Tipp City. Tipp City, what do they call it?
We are the Downtown Tipp City Partnership.
Downtown Tipp City Partnership.
Chamber in the Library.
Chamber in the Library, and we are excited to be here today, so let's get started. So let me clear this off a little bit. There we go. All right. Today we are going to be talking about communicating with Calendar and Gmail. That is what we are working on today. We do have someone that just tuned in, so that's awesome. That's exciting. We're communicating with Calendar and Gmail. That is our first hour, and then we will open it up for questions, topics you want to talk about related to Google or small business tech. I think I can field a lot of that. We'll see. Don't stump me too hard, but we'll see how it goes. All right. So first thing I want to do is I want to introduce myself. My name is Janet Hearn, and I am with Future Ready Consulting. I'm the co-founder of that organization after retiring/recovering from 34 years in higher education at Miami University. For those of you that are in higher ed, you'll get that reference. Anyway. So I am from a small town in Ohio. I grew up in Marion, Ohio. In fact, that picture is from my visit back this past fall for my class reunion, which I'm not going to tell you how many of those there were. But and I grew up in Marion, Ohio. I went to Miami University, and now I live in Wyoming, Ohio, which is another small community. So I was really excited to be part of this project the last year. This Grow with Google and Main Street America collaborative, to where we can bring you these workshops and trainings free of charge. So very excited to be part of it. I believe in small business. I believe in small town USA. So very excited to talk with you about this today. You can reach me at janet@futurereadyconsulting.org. And this will be posted on YouTube. I think you're going to all get sent the link. So this will be posted on YouTube as a recording later. If I go too fast or you're like, what did she just say? You can go back and reference it later, which is really nice. Or you can send it out to other people you know that are like, wait, you learned about that? I want to learn about that.
So I actually just posted this live link on the partnership page, so anybody can come back to it at any time.
So it's on the partnership page for those of you that know what that is. For Tip City, you can check it out. And please do. Please check it out and send it out. Share it with other people because that'll be great. All right. We do have a bit of delay on this slide, so I'm going to try not to overrun myself. That's the wrong slide. That was supposed to be hidden. Okay. So today we're going to do create and share a new calendar in Google Calendar. We're going to add an event to the calendar. We're going to receive and accept invitations in Gmail, create an email signature, and all of that. If you've done all that and you're like, what? Maybe you're going to catch a tip. I try to throw extra pro tips here and there in here. So, and then if you have more in-depth questions as we go, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer them. And then our second hour, we can talk about whatever you want. Lately, a lot of people have been asking about AI or Google Gemini, but we don't have to talk about that. We can talk about whatever you want. How many of you in the room use Google Calendar on a regular basis? About half. How many of you use Gmail on a regular basis? The same half? Okay. Well, great. Well, hopefully I can give you all some tips, and those of you that aren't using it may find it interesting and helpful to start using it. If you are on YouTube watching and you want to ask a comment or a question, you can log into your YouTube account and you are able to leave comments, and I'll keep an eye on comments in case you have a question from the audience. So that'd be great. All right, let's go. All right, if you're going to follow along, sign into your Google account. If you do not have a Google account, it's easy to get a Google account. You can go to accounts.google.com/signup. And you can get a personal account, or you can actually sign up for a business account that includes a domain for your business. So think about that. I recommend everyone have some Google account to use, whether it's just kind of a throwaway account you use to sign up for things or sign into things, or a Google account you use on a regular basis. I have a business Google account and I have a personal Google account. I try to keep those two separate, but to each his own. All right, when you sign up for a Google account, you get a lot of access to a lot of things. You get access to Sheets, which is similar to Excel, Docs, which is similar to Word, Slides, which is similar to PowerPoint, Google Drive, which is a storage area for all of your electronic paraphernalia, Photos, Chrome, where you're logging in and you can save all of your search history. You can save sites you want to make sure you have. You can add extensions. And then Gmail. So you get a lot more than just a Gmail or just a calendar. You get all of these applications, and including calendar. And there's actually a lot more little things you can get that they didn't even include on this slide. So it's really nice to have a Google account. And be able to use all these things for free, unless you are using your own domain or you need a workspace. You can pay extra for extra storage and things like that. All right, how do we access Google Calendar? We can go to the Chrome browser, and when you go to the Chrome browser, up in the upper right-hand corner, you are going to see a circle with a bunch of boxes in it. And right there is the Google Apps menu. So you click on that, and then you get access to all of your things. So remember, I just said there's a lot more to this than just what was on that little fan. Well, there, you see it right here. There's search, there's maps, there's the Play Store, there's news, there's Google Meet, which is a meeting application. So if you're paying for Zoom or you hate Zoom, Google Meet is another alternative for you. And you have a YouTube account. So it's a free YouTube account. You can post videos and things out there privately, unlisted, or publicly if that might be helpful for your business. You have docs, photos, all of those things, and that menu goes down. If you scroll down, there's a lot more to that menu. So that is how you access the Calendar app. When you access Calendar, then you can create a new calendar. So you see My Calendars, and you see where you can add other calendars. Now, I want you to think broadly here, because it's not just necessarily your calendar. You can add calendars, including a family calendar. We made both of our kids learn how to use Google Calendar, and so they each have their own calendar, plus there's a family calendar, so they can post their events on there so we can try to keep track of them. That doesn't always happen. But if you have a busy schedule with your business, with your family, with your extended family, kids, grandkids, you might want to have other calendars that people can post their events to so that you can keep track of all of those events. So don't think of this as just a one calendar, that's it, that's all I need. You have birthdays you could put on here, reminders, tasks. You see a holiday calendar you could turn on. So there's a lot of opportunity here with calendars that maybe you haven't thought about using them for those things. All right. So when you click on create a new the plus sign, you get create a new calendar as an option. You can also subscribe to a calendar, which means somebody has sent you a URL to their calendar. You can subscribe to it so you can follow their things. You can browse calendars of interest. So oftentimes you can look for other calendars if you're interested in a sports team, a professional sports team, certain holidays. You can look around and see if there's calendars that you want to add to yours so that you can keep track. One thing that's nice, if you can find some holidays or some calendars that have different types of events on there. It's nice to browse and get to that because you might find small business events that you want to participate in. If your local Main Street or chamber has a calendar that they can send you the URL, you can subscribe to that, and then their events would weave in with your calendar, which would be nice. Question?
Yes. So I don't know if it's by default or if I can change it, but it seems like I have multiple calendars on mine, so I'll have 3 Labor Days that show up or whatever. So how do I get rid of that so I'm not cluttering up my calendar?
That is a great question. So I will show you as we move through, I will show you where you can choose what is shown on your calendar. So you probably have people sharing their calendars that have holidays, and you can, yeah, so you can uncheck 2 of the holiday ones so you don't see all that. I'll show you how to do that. Remind me if I forget, but I will show you that. Because that is a critical piece. Some people miss events because they haven't turned a calendar on, they subscribed to it, or it was shared with them, but they didn't show it on their calendar. And some people have 16 of the same event showing on their calendar. The thing you have to be careful of, though, is let's say it's, I don't know, someone else's calendar that's shared with you and they have the holidays and you're seeing those holidays. If you're like, I'm sick of that, and you turn off their calendar, you may miss their other events as well. So you just have to be, you have to be careful. But yes, we can get rid of all that. All right, so when you create a new calendar, it's actually going to ask you to name it. Be careful about this. It sounds like that's easy. Name, you might say, well, this is my calendar. Don't name it my calendar, because if you have shared it with other people that said my calendar, now you have 3 my calendars and you don't know which one is yours. So put your name, put your business name, put your business event calendar, because you can actually have multiple business calendars. You can say, you could say it's the chamber event calendar, but then you can also have a separate chamber that you don't share with everyone else that you put your personal meetings and stuff on. So be careful and think about what is this calendar going to be used for. So you'd say chamber event calendar and chamber personal calendar or something like your name. So that's the kind of thing you want to watch when you name it so that you really know what it's for. You're going to put a description. You don't have to. But if you want to put a description just in case so people know what that calendar's for and you remember what that calendar's for, Time zone. This is really, really important. We actually had a problem with this event because the time zones got messed up in Google, and so Google fixed that for us. But if your time zone is wrong, your events you put on there are going to show wrong for everyone you've shared that with. If you've accidentally picked the wrong time zone, or let's say you're traveling and you're like, I think I'll set my calendar up. It's going to pull the time zone you're in currently, potentially. So double check your time zone if you have time issues. And then you hit create calendar. But I've seen a lot of problems with time zone issues. All right, now we're going to add an event to the calendar. You can look at your calendar on your phone and on your laptop multiple ways. So you can just look at it by day, by week, or by month. Personally, I like the day view on my phone and I like the week view on my laptop. Some of you might want to see the whole month, so you can see what's happening all month. You can change views on the fly. It's not set in stone, so it's nice to be able to change the views. All right, so we're just going to add an event on our calendar quickly, and if you've used this, you know how to do this. If you've not, we can just walk through it quickly. So you're going to find a date that you need for the event. You're going to enter the title of the event, the start and end time. You're going to add a description, and you may again think, I don't need that. The title says it all. Well, who are you sharing this with? The title may not say it all. And then you're going to save, and then you're going to share. So let's look at all of these different steps. So when you go to create your event, and the slide's coming. When you go to create your event, at the top you'll see the name of the event. Come on. Here we go, slides. There we go. The name is at the top. So this one's called volunteer meeting. Again, I think that's a little too vague. So unless it's an ongoing meeting every month, I would make that a little more specific. Then you'll see the date is the next line. So on here it's January 10th, 2020, and the hours. You want to check that. You also want to check the end date. So you notice on the right-hand side of the time, it says January 10th, 2020. If that says January 11th, 2020, it's going to run that whole period of time, those 2 days. So watch that those dates are correct. You can invite people. You see the people there under the clock. You can put emails of the people you want to invite to this event. You can put the location next to the map icon. You can actually put an address so people can just click there and drive there. We'll talk about conferencing in a minute, but you can actually automatically add a Google Meet conference link so that now people can just tune in and you can meet virtually instead of in person, or both.
Is the Google Meet, is that free?
It is. It's free.
Is it up to so many users?
Well, I think the cap is like 500 or something. I mean, it's nothing that you would. I use it instead of Zoom because now that I have my own business, I get the 40-minute Zoom, and that's annoying if you have to go 10 more minutes and it shuts you down, or 20 more minutes.
This one doesn't have a time
No,
cap or-
no, you can have 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever you want. So I like it better for that. I don't want to pay what I don't want to pay for. Then you have a description there, and you can make this pretty detailed in that description. You see it has all of the Google things, so you can bold and italicize and make bullets. So you could put an agenda in here for a meeting. You could put in, here they say volunteer meeting, bring your food items for the dinner, and we are preparing for the shelter. So it tells you exactly what's happening at this meeting. So I think it's really helpful to give an agenda if you can. And then you'll see the calendar icon down there, and this is crucial. It defaults to the last calendar you posted to. So as I was saying, I have my business calendar, I have my calendar for my partner and I have my calendar that says boy important calendar. That's the kids' calendar. So if it said boy important calendar there, that was the last thing I used, and now I post a business meeting, It's not going to be on the right calendar. So double check which calendar you're posting to. Again, it defaults to the last one you posted to. So do you want it on that personal calendar, that blue one, or do you want it on the volunteer calendar, the red one? So you need to choose which calendar, or you could have a problem. Any questions about the details you could end up putting in an event?
Sorry.
No, great. I love questions. Love them.
So you're talking about separate calendars. And what I did is I just upgraded and did some different things. I think I have one calendar now, but I color code them as different meetings. So that's different than setting up separate calendars, because I want to
It
do it
is.
all on one as opposed to multiple ones.
So you can have, if you have separate calendars, you can still look at them all on the same calendar page. You can turn on 20 calendars,
Right.
2 calendars, 10 calendars. But as you share out, you can share that single calendar. So if you're putting color coding, so I don't know what you're color coding, but maybe you're color coding meetings versus lunch, let's say.
I have personal, appointments versus, my networking meetings versus Mosquito Joe type meetings.
Okay.
I color code them, and it's really just for my purpose. But I guess I'm wondering, is there an advantage or disadvantage to doing my color coding versus
Different calendars. So the question, not everybody can hear the question out there. So the question is there an advantage? What's multiple calendars versus color coding your appointments? What does that do for you? So the perfect example I can think of is if you share out your Mosquito Joe calendar to someone to show the availability, or I don't know who you share that with. They're going to see your doctor's appointments. They're going to see they're going to see everything you've put on your calendar. So that is the immediate advantage is if you're sharing one or the other of your calendars, if you share the personal one with your family, they're going to see all your Mosquito Joe appointments.
So right now I don't share them, and I have a need to share.
Well, then you're probably fine. But if you're ever going to share that particular calendar, I would separate them. Yeah, but you can see them all at once, and I can show you an example of that. But I like to keep them all separate because I don't want everybody in my family seeing all my different like meetings, and they don't want to see it either, frankly. Yeah, another question.
Sharing with Outlook.
Sharing with Outlook.
Outlook calendar, bring Outlook calendar into your Google and vice versa.
You can. They can give you a URL from their Outlook to share. I will tell you, I have that in my family, someone who is on Outlook, and we share. And I only see updates about every 24 hours. So if they move it in the next hour, I don't see that.
It's lagged.
And we've had some problems with that. Like, I'm like, oh, you're in that meeting. They're like, no, that meeting got canceled. I'm like,
Doing something wrong.
no, it lags. I have not found the solution to that. We have been trying to find that out. But you can share the URL, and they can see your calendar. But
Bringing that into Apple.
I'm kind of allergic to Apple, so yeah, I can't really. But you can. I think you can.
iCalendar.
Yeah, I think you can share with iCalendar as well, but it starts getting messy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just talking about sharing between different
Formats.
formats. Thank you.
Platforms.
Platforms is even a better word. All right, any other questions? These are great questions. Hopefully it's helping everyone out. Yeah, when you start cross-platforming, it gets a little messy with the different platforms. All right. Sharing the calendar, and this again is important because you really want to be careful of who you're sharing your calendar with and how much you're sharing. So if you look at the 3-dot icon at the bottom of your list of calendars, oh, one thing I didn't mention, you can also set up a task and you can also set up a reminder instead of an event. So if that's something you'd rather do, you can do that. And then it's just it doesn't take up a big block of time. It's just a reminder that goes off and says, feed the dog or whatever. So 3-dot icon, settings and sharing. And then you can access permissions and share with specific people, okay? And we're going to go to that. You can also pick the colors that you want on that particular calendar, which is fun. And then again, here's your list of all the different calendars. So let's look at this sharing situation. When you share your calendar, you add an email address or a group address or something, and you add all the people you want to share this calendar with. The next critical thing is the permission settings. So you can add as many people as you want to share this calendar with, and you just keep adding their emails, okay? Now let's look at permissions, because this is kind of critical. So you want to choose the permissions with whom you're sharing. And if you have different permissions for different people, you add the people for that permission, set the permission, then you go back and add the people for the next permission and reset. You can't set per person, you set per group. All right, so here are the choices. See only, free, busy. So if you don't want people to see doctor appointment, grocery, if that's not an important piece of the puzzle, then just show them free, busy. That way they know when you're available and they can schedule a meeting or whatever. See all event details mean they're going to see everything you've put in there, the description, the name, everything. So again, be careful.
You're stating you don't want your new client to see that you're having meetings with old clients.
Probably not, no.
Or your competition.
Right, yeah. So free, busy is generally, unless this person is really close to you, I would not choose see all event details for that individual. I would say see free, busy, for sure. Now, you can set your permission per event. So for example, this is probably TMI, but on our family calendar, other family members can see the details. And let's say I put a doctor's appointment on there. I don't want to share my doctor's appointment event with the whole family. So I can go into that event and just say private, and then they will not see that. So if that's like a one-off, occasional thing, you can do that per event. But if you don't want them to see all of this detail, then free, busy only. And that just tells them when you're available and when you're not available. Okay, it'll just be a block. It says busy, and that's it. All event details is exactly that. The description, everything. Then you want to say, can they make changes to events? So is it a business calendar and you have an assistant or somebody that you want to be able to control and move things on your calendar? Then they need to be able to make changes to your events. They can add descriptions, they can invite people, they can change the time, the location, but you have to let them do that. And that is opposed to giving them your login. Never give your login to anybody if you can help it. That's a big no-no. So, but you can let them make changes to the events. And then they'll go in there and do that for you.
Counteract those if you want to change them yourself.
Yeah, you could go back and change it back. Yep. And then make changes and manage sharing is the same power that you have. And then they can make changes to events and they can share with other people. So if you have someone you trust so much you don't care what they do to your calendar, then you can say make changes and share, manage sharing. But if you just want them to make changes and not share with the rest of the world, then don't give them that permission. So you have all the way down to free, busy, period, up to they can do everything you can. So just choose wisely for that calendar.
Good for a co-chair.
Yeah, like a co-chair or somebody. Our family calendar, my partner and I both have the same access to. We don't, block anybody. All right. So now adding additional events. It's coming up, it's coming. Slide delay. You can easily add additional events by choosing another date, another event title, invite guests. And as I said before, you can add Google Meet conferencing free of charge. You just say add, it creates the link for you, it puts it in the calendar for you, and you both just have to click on that link to join when the meeting time comes. It's really nice.
Is that monitored by anybody?
Well, I would say Google monitors everything, but we can get in a whole philosophical discussion about that. But it's
Somebody's
maybe.
look at it that way.
My point of view is, am I really that important anyone would want to look? No, I'm not. So I'm not worried about it at this point. I'll let you know if I get to that point. I'm not foreseeing that in the near future. There's some other things in here that that don't really talk about. You can do recurring meetings. So if you have a first Monday of the month meeting, you can say repeat that meeting, and it will set it up on your calendar. Be careful of that you have an end date, because I just got on my son because he said he had lacrosse practice in next July, and I'm like, lacrosse ends in a week, doesn't it? And he's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, did you put it on forever? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, no. So, so you have to have an end date of how many times. Usually I pick like the end of the calendar year for something like that, or the 6 months, and then I review it again to do more. But you have to remember to go back and reset up the meeting though. Or put it on forever. You can. So there's recurring meetings, which are really nice. And you can really specify that. You can say once a week, once a month, once a year. I put reminders on my calendar to change the furnace filter. How many remember to do that? Comes right up there and tells me to change the furnace filter. So you can do all kinds of things with reminders and recurring, which is really nice. Questions about that? Okay. Next, we're going to talk about receive and accept invitations in Gmail. So when you get into your Gmail account, you will get invitations to a Google meeting. And, some of you may say, well, I'm not that busy that I really need to set all this up. But let me tell you that I tell people if it's not on my Google Calendar, it's not happening. So don't tell me, hey, I'll meet you tomorrow morning at whatever. I'll be like, send me an invite, because I won't. You have to send me an invite. So it's really, a lot of people do live and die kind of by their calendar. So you kind of want to be respectful of that, especially if you have a business. You want to definitely send an invite so that you're sure they'll show up and they'll remember. So it's just really nice to do that. So when you get that, there's a place right there that tells you about the meeting, and then you click yes. You can click maybe. You can click no. And there is usually a drop down where you can add a note. So you might say maybe, it depends on if the lacrosse team's in the playoffs or whatever. So that's really nice to give people, but it's always good to accept meetings. I've recently been chasing someone who said they'd be happy to meet with me. I keep setting up invitations. They don't show, and they don't accept my invitation either. So I was pretty sure they weren't going to show anyway. But
You need the trust. That's all.
maybe they don't know how, right? But it's always polite to accept the invitation or turn down the invitation so that individual can clear you off their calendar, or can be sure that you are aware and now you have it on your calendar. And when you say yes, that appears on your calendar. It'll color it in so that it's confirmed. If you see a kind of the same color but it's blank inside, that means you have not confirmed yet. So it's holding a spot for you, but it's like, are you going? Are you not going? So it's good to accept those invitations. Keep everybody's calendar clean. All right, some quick things about Gmail that may or may not be helpful to some of you. So we're going to talk about Gmail. So you open Gmail the same way that you open your calendar. You go to an open browser in Chrome. You click the little apps thing up top and you hit Gmail. You can also just Google Gmail and it'll pop up and tell you to log in. It's pretty hard to not get to Gmail. All right, in Gmail, it operates like Outlook or any of the other email providers, Yahoo, any of those. I will say that if you want to do a lot of emailing in your business and you have an old Yahoo, or I'm not being critical of Yahoo, but I would consider upgrading to Gmail just so people see that and know that you're operating in a more current manner. Was that good? Was that politically correct? I
I
don't
have
know.
an Earthlink one, so I'm just
Earthlink, there you go.
So you feel the same way about AOL?
AOL is definitely indicative of some older email. I'm not, everybody has to be themselves, so.
You can change them and have them marry into your Google.
Yeah,
account.
you could.
You can have them send everything into it. So
Yeah.
Why worry,
Yeah, you could.
Nobody else would know.
Yeah. So if you love it though, maybe that, I don't want to trip somebody up on their email. All right, so will you hit compose in the top left corner when you're ready to do an email? You can add recipient emails. You can use copy and blind copy. Blind copy is really nice if you're sending out to a lot of people and you don't want everyone to know who you're sending out to. So blind copy is always a thing to use. Add a subject. If you are in a business and you're trying to attract business through email, your subject line is really critical. You want something that'll catch somebody's eye as they scan down all of their email, like great opportunity, event coming, free whatever, anything that'll catch somebody's eye to get them to open that email. If you're having poor open rates on email that you're sending out from your business, it's generally the subject line that is the cause. And don't leave it blank. I rarely open an email with a blank subject line.
So you talked about the sending out, kind of email blast to your, but doesn't Google kind of spam you if you start doing it through your, Gmail, your regular Gmail, and sending out a lot of emails versus doing it through like a provider?
It's better to use a provider. So if you're to the point you're sending out more than like 10 a week, you probably want to get a provider.
Emails or
10
is there like a cap?
on a blast. I can't tell you what.
Emails you're sending out, there's blind copies to, and then they're like, oh, you go into spam now versus.
I don't know. I don't. So that question from the audience is, could Gmail mark you as spam if you send out too many emails from your Gmail account? They could. I can't tell you what that cap is. If you're getting into the like 100 on that blind copy list and you do it every week, I would probably go to a provider.
So what do you mean a provider?
That's a great question. Do you have a provider? Who do you?
MailChimp.
Yeah.
MailChimp, there's bunches. There's MailChimp. I use High Level. There's so many. There's the provider can send them out slowly for you, or they don't send it out through your Gmail. They send it out through another system, so you don't get marked as spam.
A provider has a certificate that says that email is good to go. They've checked you out, they know you're a true business, and it doesn't get kicked into spam
That
automatically.
you're not spam.
That you're not, yeah. That you're
A lot
not.
of the AIs are using it now.
And they're real, yeah.
They're using it now.
Yeah, I mean, they're really clamping down on that. So you're right. If you're going to send out a bunch from just your local Gmail account, it probably will get marked at some point. It's also better if you have a dedicated domain. So instead of using Gmail, if you purchase a domain such as, so I have futurereadyconsulting.org is my domain I've purchased. So my email is janet@futurereadyconsulting.org, but it's a Gmail account. It just doesn't say it's Gmail. Miami University was a Gmail school, so it said miamioh.edu, but it's Gmail. So if you can purchase that domain it's like $12 a year. If you purchase that domain with your business name, then it's also less likely to go into spam. Gmail or AOL or Earth, what was it? I forget. Earthlink? Earthlink will get marked as spam. So that's a great question. So if you are moving to the point that you're doing a lot of email business, a lot of email work, you should get a provider. And there's many providers out there, and we could have a conversation later. People could say how they feel about the different providers they use if
You
we
also
want
want
to.
to lock down your website that you bought. You want to lock that down so somebody can't jump on it and hack it.
Right. So when you buy your domain, you'll also get that domain name for your business. You could put a website there as well as your email.
But you want to secure it.
Yeah. All right. Great. These are so good. All right. I find this a funny step, but You can check your spelling in your emails, which is really important to do. So you can do the drop down and hit check spelling before you send that message. Really nice to do. And it's always good to have an email signature. So we're going to talk about how we create an email signature. Okay, so instead of just having kind of a random signature where you just say, thanks, Janet, or whatever, you can create a whole signature. So you go into settings, which is the little cog wheel in the upper right-hand corner of Gmail. And this is just a toe dip into Gmail. There is so much you can do with Gmail, and I'm going to show you a couple of my favorites after we're done with the slide deck that Google provided. So you go into settings. You'll notice here you also have themes. You also have configure your inbox. So you can make your inbox sort differently. You can also pick themes so that it has different colors if you don't like the straight up Gmail colors. So when you get into settings, and you'll see this slide in 1 second, you get into settings and you scroll all the way down to the bottom. Signature is at the bottom. And you'll see a box that talks about your signature. So that is where you can type in your contact information, and this information will go out with every single email you send. You only have to do it once in this box, and then it's golden. So you can put your name, you can put a tagline, your business name, you can put your business logo in the square. You can put all of your social media links if you want to. So you can be as simple or as complicated as you want to make it. You make sure the phone number you want people to have, because it's going to go out in every email.
Ask a question on that.
Sure, there's a
When you
question.
put in your logo, how do you stop that JPEG from appearing at the top? Or is there a way of doing that?
I've not had that problem. It should appear right down at the signature.
Yeah, when you attach something else to it, then that JPEG that shows up at the top as an attachment.
The logo does?
If it's a JPEG, yeah.
Well, then I must not use the JPEG, because that doesn't happen to me. PNG.
Yeah, okay.
I recommend a PNG file.
Okay.
And make it small, because if you make it big, it'll
Eat
eat your whole signature up. So I would recommend a PNG, because I've not had that problem, but I don't use JPEGs much anymore. So it's a .png file, and if you use Canva or wherever you have your logo, you can use that and save it as that and then put it in there. I would do 500 by 500 or less, because otherwise it'll just eat up your whole signature. And save it and go look at it. And if you don't like it, you just keep going in until you can tweak it. You can also purchase add-ons that make your signature all pretty. But I would keep it simple. I would keep name if you want the address of your business, the name of your business, a phone number for your business, or your personal phone number if you're okay with that. And then the logo, and if you want to get complicated, put your social media links in there. And a tagline's nice if you want to kind of communicate what you do or what your value prop is in a line. So that's nice.
I have another question.
Yeah, sure.
So I have multiple email accounts that I do personal, business, and things like business, personal.
Multiple accounts, yes.
And then I have multiple email signatures. But I noticed that when I upgraded, or when my husband upgraded the system, the software, that now it's making me required to select the signature. It doesn't automatically put it in there. Is there a way to make it coded so that if I'm in a certain account, it always defaults to this one? Because now I have to go up to the email signature, click it, find which one I want, and then do it depending on which one I'm in. Where before, it just defaulted to the one that I had set up in that personal Gmail.
Right. So if you have so the question is, she's saying that all of her emails are in her Gmail account, and she has to pick which signature every time she sends the email. Can that be avoided? So it depends whether you have all of your emails come together in one, which it sounds like that's the way he set it up.
No, there's stuff. I mean, I can view them as one, but I have them as separate accounts. Like I view them
You click the personality?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm surprised it doesn't.
Shouldn't have a stationary one.
It doesn't hold it into that.
Yeah,
Set it up
interesting.
in that account, but then it doesn't retain it.
For stationary is not a check mark in the list.
Which
For the
list?
Stationary. In Outlook, it's called stationary.
Oh, yeah,
In Google,
they don't
it's
use that
called, Format or platform or whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
You have to check mark it so it comes up like Joe all the time.
check your settings down by the signature, because there may be a setting
Where I set it up.
where that you keep it from asking every time. It's probably a checkbox that says ask for which signature every time, question mark.
Yeah, it doesn't ask for it, I just have to remember to go do it.
Yeah, that would be a
It doesn't
pain.
default to it, I have to go select which one.
Yeah, that
Go
would
to
be
your
a
settings,
pain.
Go into your settings for each one, because I have them to do both. One does Joe, one does Joe with this company, and Joe with this company.
Right,
You can go into your settings and set that.
okay.
Yeah.
Do that each one, each account.
Well, just one time, and then you'll be
Well,
good.
depending on the accounts, like,
Because I want it to default in each different
if it's your
account.
personal one, it'd be whatever your first name is, can't read it that far
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
Kim at whatever, and then Joe Mosquito would be another account, so you would set that up so it'd be
Okay,
checkmarked in Joe, in Mosquito Joe.
okay, I'll look.
And
Yeah.
Kim would be checkmarked.
It should have the default available in each one, is I think what he's saying.
There you go.
Yeah, and you just, so when you're in that account, say this is my default signature, and the next, and you only have to do it once,
Okay,
hopefully,
yeah.
for each account, right. That is complex. When you get multiple accounts, you have to be very careful, because you could send a Mosquito Joe signature on a,
Right, 'cause one has my personal cell phone.
Yeah, and you're like, no, no,
And
no, no,
I
no.
don't want that going out to the world.
100% agree with that one. Yeah, that'd be bad. So it does get complex with calendars and Gmail if you have multiple personalities at play. I generally switch my entire browser when I switch accounts. So I open up a new browser with my personal, and so everything I pull in there is for that account. And when I'm in my business, I'm on a different Chrome page that has everything. So that way I just keep those lives separate as I can. Otherwise, I would be sending it the wrong signatures all the time. There's some other cool things in settings, so I would explore Gmail settings. Once you kind of get comfortable with Gmail, go in and look at those settings. There's a vacation responder, which is nice. You can put in a message to say, hey, I'm out right now, and you can set the dates. I'll get back with you when I return. That's super handy if you have people that are emailing you and you know you can't get back to them. So there's a lot of really cool settings in Gmail that you can play with. So once you get comfortable with the basics, then I would do that. I'm going to show you a couple other things here in a minute, but for now, let me just recap and give you some additional resources. So in Calendar, we learned how to set up a calendar. We know we can set up multiple calendars for business versus family versus a certain person in the family. We can share those calendars, and we want to be careful when we share those calendars of how much power we give people. We know how to add a new event now. We're still waiting for the slide to change. I don't know why this is so slow today. This is extra slow. Come on now. You may hear chewing in the background because lunch has been brought, which is really nice. Sorry for those of you that are online and don't get lunch. But it looks and smells delicious, but I won't eat on camera at the moment. So that is not switching. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and go through this because I don't know why this slide's not switching. But
Probably because there's 100 of us on it.
yeah, you're all online, so it's slow. In Gmail, we talked about how to receive and accept invitations, create an email signature, compose a new email, and you can then hit reply all when you reply to other emails. There wasn't really a slide for that, but all of the functions you have in your normal different email accounts you can do with Gmail. That's stuck. There are other apps that are provided with your Google account, including Forms, where you can create forms and surveys, which is really nice if you're trying to take a poll of people in your service area, or that have, if you want to do a survey of people's experiences, that's nice. There is Google Meet, like we talked about, so that you can have virtual meetings with people. And then this has got to be an old slide deck. There is Google Sites to create your own websites. There's much better apps to do that. Don't use Google. Shh.
Good start there.
Yeah, you could start. Then there is YouTube channel where you can get career certificates and learn more about Grow with Google. You can get qualified for in-demand jobs in high-growth fields with data analytics, digital marketing, and e-commerce. So there's lots of things that Google offers. It's grow.google/certificates.
Say that again, please.
You just want to hear me slip over that again. grow.google/certificates. I'm actually doing an AI certificate right now.
Are those free or?
Some are free and some are paid. The one I'm doing is through Coursera. It's Google based, but it's through Coursera. It's $49. But many, many, many of Google certificates are free. Many, many.
They're all like online then?
Yes, it's all online, so you can complete that all online. And there is, if you go to google.com/grow, google.com/grow. I'm gonna try to remove this and then put it back and see if that helps. There we go. Oh, I got it, but maybe you're not going to get it. Jeez. All right. I'll love to see how this recording ends up. Free online training and tools at google.com/grow for teachers and students, for local businesses, for job seekers, and for developers. So this is part of the local business series. You can do it online, though, and do it on your own time, or you can have a Google trainer come and do it, which is what we're doing right now. Well, I really do want this slide because it has the QR code to leave me a review if you enjoyed this training. So, so we're going to let that go for a minute, and then hopefully we'll get to that.
So the certificate one is grow.google/certificate.
Correct.
And the other one is google.com/grow.
Correct.
Okay. And you said that they actually will come and do sessions.
Well, if you want more sessions, you can contact either the chamber or Main Street, and I can still come do those. We're still doing training, or I can do virtual trainings until, I think we're going to do those through July. So I can still do that for free, but you can also get other Grow with Google partners and contract with them, or contract with me later after July to do training, or you can do them online. A lot of it's online. You don't even need anybody to do it.
Okay. I was just thinking like it's a benefit I could offer my employees, like we do like a little luncheon or something.
Oh, that would be so good. Yeah.
And then, kind of train them on something.
So through the end of July, you can have a lunch and learn. I can broadcast in from my house, and I can do whatever topic you want.
Why is July cut off? Is that like a?
That's when the grant ends. I can still do it. You'll just have to pay me instead of Main Street paying me. It's not especially virtual. It's not a big cost for me to do an hour training. Yeah, fun times. All right, it's getting there. The slides keep going up front. They're just not going here. I want to show you some other stuff. This is crazy, the lag.
I should have put you on the main library problem instead of the.
Yeah. Because everybody's on the guest, right? Oh, there it is. So if you, it's always good if you have a business to ask for reviews on Google Review. So I'm asking for a review. So if you can snip that QR code for later, you can leave me a review on my business saying this was hopefully a valuable training session. And I would appreciate that. If you can't, that's understandable, and that's fine.
Will that go on Google Review?
Yep, it'll go on my Google Reviews.
Did you build that QR through Google?
I built the QR code through a extension I have on my Chrome, which is called QR Code Generator. If you like QR codes, you just add an extension to your Chrome browser called QR Code Generator. Whatever website you're on, you hit it, and it makes you a QR code. You download it, and boom.
Is that something you could show us how to do? Because I know a lot of people ask me for that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's great for shows.
Yeah, I can show you how to do that. And I think I have a video actually on my YouTube channel that already shows it, but I can show you today as well.
Now, are those the codes that will actually track? So there's like ones that you can create that will actually track to see how many times someone's clicked on it or done that, or is this just a code?
It's just a code. I can't,
Do you
there
have
are,
to track those?
yeah, there's trackable ones. I'd have to,
Are those free or?
Look at it every time somebody touches that page, it'll count it.
yeah, the website would do that. I'd have to look because Google used to do that. It was awesome. You could go in and they would keep analytics and they stopped that service, which I was very disappointed. Yeah, it was really nice. We can look and see if we can find one that would work for everybody. This is free though, this QR code generator. And I highly recommend you have your Google review link and create a QR code generator, especially if you are a brick and mortar, so you can put it by the cash register, you can put it by the door as they walk out. So as they're standing there doing their credit card situation with you, they can click it and they can leave a review. And hopefully everybody knows, usually now the camera on every phone, if you just open your camera and hold it on the QR code, the link pops up and you click on it.
Employees' name tags are really cool.
Ah, that's a good one. Employee name
Yeah,
tags.
Bob laid on me, I really like the way he did it.
Yeah.
It's a twofer on the web.
Yeah, because then they'll get the name plus they'll get the link. So try to post that. People want to leave you reviews. It's just if it's a pain, they're not going to leave you a review. Like you can put a QR code at the bottom of your receipt. So they get their receipt and they go, oh, yeah, I like the service. And they get in their car and they can click it and leave you a review. So make it easy. And then people don't seem to mind leaving a review. But if you make it hard, like here's the link, and it's a long link, and they're like, oh, Or if you don't post it anywhere and they have to remember to go home and go find you on Google and then leave your review, then that's a pain. But if you leave it on receipts, by cash registers, by doors, if you send them an email following the service, if you're not a brick and mortar, put it in there. So that's really nice.
So just curious, you said we go for the QR code generator.
Uh-huh.
And that, when you create that, is going to do your reviews?
It'll make a link. So if you hold your camera up to that and click on the link, it should go straight to my Google reviews.
It should go right to
Yes.
Google, okay.
In theory, unless I made a messed up link this morning. But he says it's good. So that's nice. Yes.
So sometimes I'll get an email from a company that I've purchased from, and it will specifically just be an email to leave a review. Is that something that Google will send out automatically, or do you have to set that up?
You have to set that up. But I recommend you do. So some people do a workflow in like a communication flow manager of like High Level or some of these others we've named, HubSpot, so that when you have a sale, it'll grab that customer's name, it'll automatically send them an email and a template that you've set up. All right, I'm going to get rid of this slideshow, and I'm going to add my screen, which is always a risk. Let's start with my calendar, which I don't really necessarily want to share all my life publicly, but I wanted to show you a couple things. So I want to show you something new that's been created by Google since this presentation was created, and it'll switch here in a second for you all to see, and you'll see on my calendar. I'm going to show you a couple quick things on calendar that was not included. Again, we're waiting for the delay here. See, if I show you from my screen up there, it's too small. You know, if I put my food over there, I could probably eat between delays, except then it would record it and then. All right, so in just a second. So something else you can create that's new now. So does anybody here use like Calendly or one of those? Anyone? Yes? All right, so Calendly is a service that you pay for, and I always try to avoid paying for services. If you if you pay for the service, you can send people a link or put it in the bottom of your signature, and then they click on that and they can pick slots, available slots to meet with you. And in Calendly, I assume you've set up maybe like 9 to noon, 30-minute slots, and then you leave a lunch spot, and then you say 1 to 3 30-minute slots, and then people can go in there, pick the slot, book it, they get sent a link, you get it put on your calendar, and you don't have to touch anything. Yes? So that's really nice. So Google just added appointment schedule. You can create a shareable page that lets people book with you. So you can get rid of your Calendly if you want. So here it is right here, appointment schedule. It's brand new. So you can click that. And now I'm going to go out to, you can see how busy.
And you can stack times.
So look,
Stack times.
yeah, so you can say when you're available. Well, you can't at the moment because it's showing my calendar. This is from the main calendar page. So, come on. So what it allows you to pick is the appointment duration and the general availability. And like I said, I always leave time for lunch. I don't know about you all, but I leave time for lunch. So, well, this is frustrating.
While it's doing that, can I make the screen bigger?
Say what?
I said, while you were waiting, can I make the screen bigger?
It's full screen, but
So this appointment schedule,
yeah. There you go. Cool.
so the appointment schedule that you're doing, that's talking about, you can create a link then to put like in your email signature.
Yes.
So where do you get the link then?
Yeah, I'm trying to show you,
Oh, okay.
but it won't let me.
Welcome to our downtown and our internet capabilities.
Well, yeah, this is a library public, and so all of you are on it, plus everyone upstairs is on it. So,
That's what I did. Okay. I moved the carpet. I just need to put on something.
all right, I really want you to see this. Okay, here we go. All right, so you can pick the appointment duration. So do you want people to be able to book an hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes? I generally leave time. If it's an hour, I do 45 minutes, so I have 15 minutes in between. 30 minutes is usually like a free call, right? General availability. So this is giving general availability for you on, not like considering vacation and all of that stuff. So when are you available? So you can set it up for Monday through Friday. If you take appointments on Saturday and Sunday, you can choose to add those in. This says I'm not available because I'm pretty much not. So you can set the available time span. Now, if you have an appointment already on the books in that span, it will not let someone book that. So you don't have to worry about that. But in general, when are you willing to take client appointments? And maybe it's just Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or maybe it's just Tuesdays and Thursdays. They don't know that you're like, I don't want to talk to you on Monday. They just see there's no appointments available on Monday. So if you're like, I don't do Mondays, don't make appointments on Monday. So you see this purple is all the different slots that are available, but notice it'll jump around my appointments. There's no slots available then. Now, I don't do this because I have another software that I've already got set up that does it, but.
So you said that it would have a block and it wouldn't let anybody go in between. Can you go in between those spaces?
Yes, and if I add somebody in there myself by hand, it'll block those spaces. Yeah, so this checks every time someone pulls up your page to book an appointment. It looks at your calendar and says, well, what's available?
So how much is that service?
This here, free.
That's free on our Google.
Yep, they just added it.
That's just, so what is it that you have?
She,
I have Calendarly, and I don't I do the free version, but
There you go.
it's connected to my Google, so there's no point for me to have it if I can do it all through Google right now. It's just a matter of me
So
going in
it's
and switching
basically
it.
the simpler.
Yeah, it's the same thing, it's just integrated with my Google Calendar, but now that Google's offering it, I can get rid of that.
This is brand new. I mean, like, I didn't
It's
even,
like an appointment book.
yep, it's an appointment book. Make sure you pick your time zone. Again, if you pick the wrong time zone, everything will be a mess. Scheduling window. So this one is chosen at 60 days in advance to 4 hours before. If you don't want people to be able to schedule that far in advance, then change that.
Will it send them a reminder?
It should.
Make it-
Yep, it'll send them a reminder as long as you have that. I think that's going to be an option here in a minute. So you can pick the range of appointments. So if you only want people to be able to schedule a month in advance with you or 2 weeks in advance, then you set that. So when they go into book, they're only going to see availability for those 2 weeks, and then it'll just keep shifting. The next week, it'll pick 2 more weeks, the next week. I do that so that I don't end up with a bunch of people making appointments, and then we decide they're taking a vacation that week. And I'm like, oh, crap. So you decide.
So back to it will send out reminders. Will it have where the people can confirm that they got that reminder?
Well, they'll confirm the appointment, yes.
They can confirm that appointment?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. Adjusted availability, indicate times you're available for specific dates. So again, this is if you have a special time you're available or not available, you can do that. Booked appointment settings, right? The default is set at, and this will scroll down for you on the slides in a minute, no buffer time, no maximum bookings per day. I don't recommend you leave it at that.
no big deal.
So you can say buffer time. So if you're the type who cannot go meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting, then schedule a 30-minute buffer time, which means if someone books at 9, you'll then also have it, if it's a 30-minute slot and they book it at 9 a.m., it'll also keep 9:30 to 10 open for you and will not let anyone book there, so that you can have 30 minutes to run to the bathroom, get a snack, get ready for your next meeting, whatever it is. If you don't need that kind of buffer time, then don't put any buffer time. You can put 30 minutes, you can put 15 minutes, whatever. But that's time that it will not let someone book after your meeting. Limit how many you accept in a single day. So I don't know how busy your businesses are. Maybe you don't need this. But if you get busy and you're starting to get 6, 7, 8 appointments in a day and you're like, I can't get any work done, then restrict it to 4. And as soon as 4 people book that day, it's going to close all the slots down for that day and they'll have to book the next day. It's super awesome. I can't even believe they're doing this, but it's highly due. Then it asks you what calendar you want to use, whether it's your personal calendar, your business calendar, which calendar, and it tells where else it should check availability. So I would have it check my family calendar as well, so it does not book me an appointment during a lacrosse game. And then it says next, but I don't want to do this, so I don't know what's next. But I imagine the next part is, well, I guess I can do it and then just cancel.
Does it allow you at some point to put in your Google Meet, so if you're going to do it via?
Location and conferencing, it does. So you can put your photo on your little scheduling page. It lets you put your name and your photo. It lets you put location and conferencing. Select where and how to meet. So if these particular ones are all going to be Google Video Meet conferences, you can put that. In person, phone call, so you can also put none so that you're going to arrange that later. So if you have an office and people have to come to see you, put your office location. If you're going to do it all virtually, then put your virtual. I have a little office I meet in occasionally, but generally I work out of my home, so I'm going to put conferencing as my default. Phone call, you can put that. And then you can put to be determined or to be specified later, so then when you see it come in, you can say, You can email them and say, do you want to meet in my office, or do you want to meet online, or what do you want to do? This is pretty darn cool. You can add a description, so you can say free 30-minute consultation as the description. You can even add more details. So if it's, I don't know all the businesses we have recommended here. Can I pick on the chamber? So, so if they book a 30-minute consultation for the chamber, you can say, please have available your business name, whatever else the chamber likes to know or have a conversation about. So if you have information you need to consult with that person, put it in the description and say, this is what we need when you come. So they're ready, prepared. Booking form. So there's a form, and you can specify what you want in the form. It defaults to first name, last name, and email address. But you can add description of your business, name of your business, phone number. You can add things.
Outgoing form, you're saying.
The form that the booking form they see when they hit, oh, I want to meet at 9 a.m., it'll pop up and you say, here's my name. Yeah. So you know who you're meeting with.
Can you plug in information in that?
You can add.
Like who else is going to be joining
Yep.
you?
Yep.
Shut up, that's
Oh, I know.
cool.
This is crazy. It's brand new. It's
I haven't
brand.
had a chance to play with that.
I wouldn't even known it was here had I not been prepping for this thing. I was like, wait, what? And then, to answer your question, and you'll see this slide in a minute, calendar invitation. Do you want it to send an invitation and all that? So and reminders. So it does ask you what you want to send them. This is cool. People pay good money for this, and now it's all part of Gmail. What?
How long do you think it's going to stay free?
Generally, if Google starts charging, they still have a free version. Like they might limit it to X times a day or whatever. But they're usually pretty, they don't usually do too much of a bait and switch like that.
Can you limit the advertising on the backside if there's any advertising coming in?
Yeah, you might be. I don't know. You'd have to see how they're going to do that. I mean, you all can test it with one another and see if there's advertising. I'm betting there is no advertising, but I could be wrong. All right, that's pretty sweet. That is really sweet. All right, so you have all that, and it's going to cycle through that. It's still back at the description. So, oh, it does have the form there. So see, that's the form where you add an item and everything. Awesome. That's really surprising. All right.
Impressive format for that.
Yes, I'm impressed. Way to go, Google. Now, the only thing, I don't know if it's different with personal accounts versus workspace accounts. So if you have a workspace account, it's generally a business account. If you have a personal account, it's personal. They actually give more things free on your personal account than they do on the workspace account. So if you go into your accounts later and you're like, this is not what it's not here. She showed us it's not here. If you have a personal account, it's probably a workspace account. Or if you have a workspace account, you might have to go back to your personal. This is my workspace account, so I know it's there. Which it's likely to be in personal as well because they usually give the more stuff to the personal account, which is weird. They're trying to lure you into it.
So they market the one.
Yeah.
Keep the data.
That's true. They very well might.
Nothing's free.
What else? I had something. I was just. Oh, no. What was I just going to show you? All right, we're going to let this catch up a little bit. So that's a cool feature. Didn't even know I was going to be talking about that, but I think it's really valuable, and I highly recommend you go check it out. And if you've been teetering on Earthlink, Gmail, I'm not sure, I would head over to the Gmail route and get some of these free features for sure. Oh, the QR code. You want me to show you the QR code?
Yeah.
All right.
Originally it was Prodigy.
Oh, yeah.
And they bought Earthlink bought them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Janet, if you want to give that time to catch up and eat your lunch, I know Jessica would like to talk about the library a little bit.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. You're all okay doing it on camera?
Sure, that's fine, if I don't mind listening.
All right, so we are going to switch and we're going to have a conversation about the library. And don't look up here because it'll still record it, it's just not going to be live. So just talk to these folks. And I'll give you the mic. Excellent. I love this. Watch the cord. Just got to clip that somewhere on your shirt.
Okay. All right. Hi. So yeah, for some of you, probably you don't know who I am, but I'm Jessica. I'm the adult services assistant here, and I'm helping out. If you know Morgan Monin, she's the adult services librarian, and I help her out with some things. So basically, what I wanted to talk about was, if you don't know, we have like our makerspace area. It's right out in our teen area. As you walk by it, it has a lot of resources for small businesses and things like that. We've got like a large format printer, which that's really useful. It allows you to print things that are bigger sizes than a normal printer. Like you can print posters, banners, things for events, things like that. We have a button maker, which is also useful. That I really like using the button maker. It's just a fun little thing to use. It allows you to make pins, button pins with like your business logo on, things like that. We also have, there's one more thing. We also have, this is useful too. It's pretty simple. It's just a large paper cutter that's on a table out there. That's also pretty useful. Like for if you're using the large format printer, you're going to want to use that paper cutter basically. Yeah, so if you guys stop by after we're done with this, take a look at what we have. It's not nearly as large as, I don't know if you guys know the Troy Library. They have a huge maker space. It's not nearly like that, but we have a lot of useful things for small businesses to use. We have a Cricut out there, which could also be useful. You can print on it, everything. Cricuts are great. I really enjoy it. I like using the Cricut too, especially if you have designs to make like that. Yeah.
Training, like, I would love to be able to try to do some things on it, but
Sure.
I don't know how to use it, so.
Yeah.
Using step-by-step how to do it,
Ye-
Google that ahead of time.
Well, no, not you could if you wanted, but the staff knows how to use it, so there's always generally somebody on desk down here to help you out with that, and I know the button maker has instructions. I think the large format printer, well, it doesn't have instructions, but staff knows how to use it. There's always a staff member who knows how to use that.
Do you have to bring like a drive into, like just plug it in to print that, or do you have to connect to your computer?
So for that, you have to log on. Right now, what you have to do, you have to log on to a computer down here, and then you transfer it to, we have a folder on the computers that are marked for like the large format printer. So you would download your file onto that, and then we would print it from the staff computer. Yes, bring it up. Yes, thumb drive, or we can download it. Like if you have it in an email or something, we can download it. So yeah,
Costs involved?
there are costs involved. The button maker, I think the smallest one's like 30 cents, and I think it just goes up to, it's less than $1 per button, depending on the size. We have a small, medium, large, so depends on the size, but yeah.
What about the other things like the printing and the format printer?
The format printer, there is a cost for it. Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but we've created like a poster so you can see like the actual size of what you're going to be printing for like some of the more like commonly used sizes. We've done that, and the prices are listed out there, but off the top of my head, I don't remember. But yeah, Steph, don't stop by, take a look. Yes.
How much time should you allow to make like a button?
Oh, they don't even take a minute to make. So it's once you get used to the process, it's pretty simple. It doesn't take very long. Yeah.
Do you guys have any like marketing materials or anything I could help promote to let businesses know the resources they have available?
For us, well,
Website.
yeah, we do have a website. for that. I don't know that there's anything on the website right now, but that's definitely something we could look into. Yeah, that's a good thought. And if there would be enough interest, we're always interested in like having a program to teach you how to use our materials in the makerspace. If there is something that's interested in, we could definitely do that. But yeah, that was okay. Yeah, yes. We do have a laminator. We have a normal size one that is out in the makerspace, but we also have a bigger one that we'll laminate for you because it's in like a separate area. But you can call or come to the front desk. You'll fill out a form, and there's a small fee for it, and we'll let you know when it's. So yeah. Yes.
Do you need to reserve time to use like the button maker and the Cricut, or is it if you're here and it's available, you're good to go?
Yes, if you're here and it's available, you're good to use it. We don't have a lot of need for that right now, but yeah. Yeah. All right, any other questions? Okay, that was all. Thank you. Oh.
Bodega, they're fantastic. I think everybody in Tip City's been to Bodega multiple times.
I had to put them on my betting forward list, unfortunately.
All right, so we're having lunch from the Bodega for anyone that wants to know. I like to plug the restaurant. So I'm having chicken salad. For sure. So, okay. Cybersecurity. Oh, we have a comment online that I didn't see come in about cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. So we can talk a little bit about that after we do the QR code, if anybody's interested in that. All right, let's do the QR code real quick. So let me share my screen. I actually may have to switch to, let me do something here. I think I have to show the whole window. Oops. All right, we're going to have a bad effect here for a second, and then... We just thank everybody who tuned in to watch. I'm sorry, so the artificial intelligence person, though, is going to miss out. Ooh. Online. How are we going to do that? I'll try to, I wonder if I could record it locally, maybe, and then put it up. I'll try to do that. All right, so we're going to end this, and I'll record, and we'll launch that later. All right. Yeah, this